Harihi Om Kujantam Rama Rameti Maduram Maduraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakam Vande Valmiki Kokilam Valmikir Munisimhasya Kavita Vanacharinaha Shrinvan Rama Kathanadam Konayati Parangatim Jayatyadi Balo Ramaha Lakshmanasya Mahabalaha Raja Jayati Sugrivo Raghavena Bipalitaha Dasoham Kosalendrasya Ramasya Klishta Karmana Hanuman Shatru Sainyanam Nihanta Marutatmajahana Ravana Sahasram Me Yudhe Pratibhalam Bhaveti Shilabistu Praharataha Padapaischa Sahasrasaha Ardhayitva Purim Lankam Abhivadya Maitilim Samurdarto Gamishyami Mishatam Sarvarakshasam Namostu Ramaya Salakshmanaya Devyai Chatasyai Janakatmajayai Namostu Rudrendra Yamanilebhyo Namostu Chandrarka Marutganebhyaha Nadiya Porul Kaikudum Yanamum Pukadum Undam Vidiyal Vajiyadakum Veriyam Kamalainokum Nidiya Arakkarsenai Nirupattu Ariya Vagai Suriya Silairaman Tolvali Kauruarke Namasabhaye Sri Ramayan Art of Living Lecture Series 53rd episode. So, Swagatam, Suswagatam. We have actually been as a Goshti for 52 weeks face to face. It's nearly 1 year as face to face, weekly Sangoshti. So, and then we are entering into the 53rd episode, Dharmaka Mahatva, the importance of gift. So, last week we saw the importance of service. Then Valmiki, see, it is the gift horse keeps on giving. So, we took this as a yajna to talk about art of living, and the more and more you study Ramayana, itna samay, itna barambar हमने मैंने पढ़ाया रामायण, but every time it's पुनः पुनः नवो नवो भवति जायमानोन्नाम केतुरुषसा मेद्यग्रे. As Veda says, everything, every time you read, new things come. It is uski kripa. So, dharma ka mahatva, the importance of gift. And Uthara Ayana पुण्य काल का स्वागत करके आह्वान करके we are going into Ramayana. Uttarayan में two things are said important. One is to have tirtha snan. Another one is dan. Two things you should do in samkramana. Ye to masa samkramana. Surya to मास one राशि से दूसरा राशि so सूर्य चलता है, उसको आयन है. अभी तो मकर आयन का प्रवेश, and it is मकर आयन और कर्कट आयन, दो आयनों को पुण्य काल कहते हैं. उसी में तीर्थ स्नान एवं दान करना, पर्टिकुलरली श्राद्ध दान करना. हम तो रामायण में डूब रहे हैं. वाल्मीकि गिरि संभूता राम सागर गामिनी पुनातु भुवनम पुण्य रामायण महानदी. So you don't have to go to Kumbha. Already we are having our avagana in Ramayana. And then Dan, what Dan you should do, how should you do when we are starting this Uttara in a Punyakala, Valmiki ne written, and we will see that. Satyena lokan jayati dhinan dhanena raghava gurun sushrushaya viro dhanusha yudhi chatravan dhanusha yudhi. So, this is the Ramayan slok, Valmiki ki rachana. He says, Satyena lokan jayate da dhina dhinena dhanan dhanena dhinan. By giving alms to people, Rama is going to prove. Ramayana is not just a simple theory. Ramayana is practical. So this was somewhere in Ayodhya Kanda. I leave it up to you. I know I don't want to tell, but do it as a homework. It's in the 12th sarga. Chalo, that also I tell. So, Satyena lokan jayate dinan danena dinan raghava. Then he says, Gurun sushrushaya. So, by doing puja, by doing sushrushya means Shravana, it is desiderative. So, in literature you see this as a desiderative. So, it is sushrushya mane shravayati iti sushrusha. By listening. So, all these three so far what this is the sloka, this is the conversation between Dasaratha and Kaikeyi. So three things Rama is already shown. Satyena lokan jayati. He wants to keep his word. Then Danena, which we are going to see today. And then Susrushaya Guruna. So he is already doing Susrushaya because he is listening to his father. And the fourth one we have to see, that is the next Kanda, Aranya Kanda, Kishkinda Kanda, Yuddha Kanda. We will say Viraha, Dhanusho, Yudhi. So we will see that in the further Kanda. So it is apt. So this is Ramayana. So what it is? Satyena Lokan Jayati. So Guru Arte Tyakta Rajyam. So he is going to leave. So that is where the twist and turn takes in Ramayana. Why did Rama want to preserve the truth? He could have said, okay, chalo. Similarly, Lakshmana could have said this. Sita could have instigated him not to go. But one important thing Ramayana tells is, if you tell lie, you have to always remember what lies you told in life. Or you should write it in some diary. Because if you tell lie every time, it will get to change itself. So that is the reason Rama also gives simple lesson. Chala kallaladu Tyagaraja sings Chala. One Rama, don't you? It's like sarcastically. Tyagaraja Swami in Telugu language sings, Rama, you know that you can tell lies, but I know you didn't tell lies because you would have thought that it is very difficult to remember what lies you told, Rama. Perhaps that is the reason you didn't. Chala kallaladu. So why you didn't tell so many lies? Is it because time will go, but whatever lies you tell will stick? And people will remember you for that, not for your guna, not for your kalyana. Kalyana Ramana to kalamu potunu mata niluchunu. Kalamu potunu. Time will fly, but if you tell lie, that lie will stick. Is it because of that, Rama? Perhaps you didn't tell lie and you wanted to stick to your truth and you wanted to make sure your father also sticks to the truth. Kalyana Rama. What is that guna? That guna of Rama is Arjavam. Arjavam mane truth. Truth from inside, not from lips. Truth from inside. That is what he is going to do. Tam uvacha atmavan Rama pritya lakshmanagatam kale tvamagataha saumya kankshite mama lakshmana. Tvam agata, tam, because we have an habit of starting sargas, if possible, with takara. Takaraha saukyadayakaha, takaraha mangaladayakaha. Isiliye हमने ये श्लोक चुना. Tam uvacha atmavan Ramaha pritya lakshmanama agatam kale tvam agataha saumya. Hey saumya, because you are doing what I am liking you to do. What we all like to do is to keep the truth. Kale tvam agataha saumya kankshite mama lakshana. Saumya kankshite, you know my focus. Aham pradhatum ichchami yatidam mamakam dhanam brahmanebhyah tapasvibhyah tvaya sah parantapa. The importance of dana. So nearly 1.5 sarga Valmiki talks about dana. Aham pradhatum ichchami, dhatum ichchami, pradhatum ichchami, aham dhatum ichchami sah tvaya. I want to give, but give wholeheartedly. That's why pradhatum, dhatum. Then samvida deyam. Samvida mane to stick to your conscience. The actual meaning, if you look at a Vyakyana of Upanishad, is samvida mane sticking to your guns. Sticking to your guts. I say I will give, I will give. Pradhatum aham sahatvaya brahmanebhyah tapasvibhyah tvaya saha parantapa. Because you are a parantapa, Lakshmana, because you are also sticking with dharma. Vasanti iha dridam bhaktya gurushu dvichasattama tesham apicha me bhuyah sarvesham cha upajivinam. Sarvesham cha upajivina. Drida bhaktya. So those people who follow, not only these Brahman, not only these Vidyarthis, not only these Brahmacharins, all the people here are going to follow what is truth. What is righteousness? Sarvesham cha upajivanam Vashishta putram tu Suyagnya maryam tvam manaya ashupravaram dvijanam abhiprayasyami vanam samastan abhyarcha sittan aparan dvijatin. You see, there is a change in meter. Probably Tishtuk. When it comes, what does it mean? that particular aspect is getting over. So Valmiki is going to take us to the next aspect. So that's why instead of being Anushtupa, you could see the meter. The meter is rolling into an extended one. It is like Doha. Tulsidas always does Chaupai with four legs. Chaupavi mane 4 legs with equal meter. 16, 16, 16, 16. Whereas if you look at Doha, the first, third and fourth will be different. So it is stretchy. Same wise, that's why he gives four chaupais, unified meter chaupais, then he will migrate to Doha. Similarly, Valmiki, when he wants to tell something new or when there is a end of that particular aspect, not the sarga, when there is an end of particular aspect or one attribute of the story, he is going to give in terms of Trishtup. Pradhan mein it is Anushtup, but here and there it is Trishtup. Vashishta putram tu Suyagnya maharyam Tvamanaya ashu pravaram dvijanam abhipraya asyami vanam samasthane abhyarcha sishtan aparan dvijatin. If you read Ramayana, your tongue itself will roll, so you don't have to worry. It's like Chaupai. If you do Chaupai, Sita Rama Charanarati Mori Anudina Badavu Anugrahavatore. You see, this is Chaupai. So, same thing. Whereas when you look at Doha, it is different. So, Ita Rama Charanarati More Anudina Badavu Anugrahatore. Beautiful Chaupai. Kya Sugandh. So, it is also in Ayodhya Kanda. So, Tulsidas prays, Hey Ram, you always make sure that every day my bhakti towards you grows. Anudina bhadavu anugrahatore. Likewise, this will flow. If you follow this, always it will flow. Vashishta putram tu Suyagnya maharyam tvam manaya ashu pravaram dvijanam. Pravaram dvijanam. Why did he bring Vashishta Putra? So Vashishta was the Kulaguru, that is the twist. So Valmiki asks us to think. That's the reason he enlarged the meter. So Suyagnyam, Vashishto Vamadevascha, Jabalirata Kashyapah, Katyayano Suyagnyascha, Vashishto. Later on we will see in Pattabhisheka Sarga, both Vashishta and his son were together seated. But why does he make sure not to bring Vashishta and only bring Suyagnya? Next Sarga, Valmiki gives the answer. Why? Because he is going to do Yatradhana. Devasyatva savitu prasave asvino or bhagubhyam pushno asthabhyam pratigrihnami raja atva varuno nayatu devi dakshine hiranyam. So there is Veda says to whom what should be given. If it is going to be Brihad Dana, the Dana are Godana, Swarna Dana, Bhumi Dana, Kanya Dana. These are all Brihad Dana. So it has to be given to proper people. At the same time, when that proper people are accepting, they have to accept it full-heartedly, wholeheartedly. So what is he going to give? He is going to give Bhuri Dakshina. It's not like Puri, Bhuri. So he is going to give so much Dakshina. And he is going to give, there is a Shastra Charcha we have to do. So when he is going to leave, even when you are going to leave from one city to other city, Surat to Ahmedabad, you have to give Dakshina. You don't have to go and give it to Brahman. Some good things you can give. But Rama is going to leave the entire Rajyasri and is going to forest. So he has to do it according to Shastra. Shastra says you need to give what it is. Devasyatva savitu prasave me savitu. May the Lord that is the Atma of Surya, may the Lord that is Atma of everybody, may that Lord instigate me. Utsaha karo. Devasyatva savitu prasave asvino or bhagubhyam. And the Asvina Devatas, may they come to my hand. Asvino or bhagubhyam pushno asthabhyam pratigrihnami. So I make sure that you are all Devata Swarupa. Ayyamum pichayum andanayum kaikati. This is Margashirsha month, only one day left. So the Goda Devi in Tamil, in the second poem of Tirupava itself says Ayyamum pichayum andanayum kaikati. Then on the 17th poem she says Ambarame tannire sore aram sayyum. So giving is so much important. In Mahabharata there is one parva called Dana Parva. So he says, so these are all, I am taking you as an embodiment of these devata. I'm taking you Pushna Mane Surya. I'm taking you embodiment of Savitu. I'm taking you embodiment of Aswini devata. I'm taking you embodiment of Raja Varuna. Varuna is always called Raja. So then Kama Pratigrahita. Please accept with happiness. Kama Pratigrahita. So they should not think that, oh, I don't like this gift. Why is he giving me? That's what happened. When you look at the Nachiketa Upakyanam, you will see that father, Vajasravasa, gave those things which cannot be used. So then what happened? He has to give his own son to Yamadevata. That's a different story. That comes in the Aranya Braga. We will see when time permits. So you have to give it wholeheartedly. Samvidadeyam tataha sashanam ajnaya bratuhu shubha batuhu shubhataram priyam gatvasa pravivesha ashu suyagnyasya niveshanam. Why Suyagnya? Because Rama is asking Suyagnya to come to his house and then take that gift. But Vashishta is Jeshta Guru. You cannot tell that man of that caliber to come to your place and take gift. One. Second, he is going to make sure that he is doing this because of the goodness for him. But he is going to give you Yatra Dana. So that means he is invoking auspiciousness for him. In a way, it is in a selfish way, even though Rama is not like that. So you are doing because of some nimitta. If you are doing because of some nimitta, can you ask your Kula Guru to walk all the way from his griham to your griham and get it? Third point, when somebody is getting the gift, their hands are lower. The man who gives the gift, those hands are upper. You cannot make your own Guru, Kulapati, to be at a lower position than you. Then Suyagnya is also Brahmana. Suyagnya is also son of Vashishta. Then how is Rama going to dance around this predicament? There Valmiki says, even though he is Vashishta's son, even though he is a Brahmana, he and Rama studied together. So they are long-time friends, Saka. Somebody becomes a prime minister. But when their high school friend goes, to outside he might be prime minister. But to him he is his schoolmate. There's always soft corner. So this is the reason Valmiki makes sure not to call Vashishta. But Atma vai putra namasi, even if you give it to Suyagnya, Shastra and Veda says Suyagnya is nothing but Vashishta. So you in a way have honored only your Kura Guru. In person wise you have not honored him, but you have done what Shastra says to do in a much better way. Tam vipram agniyagarastam vanditva lakshmanena bravit sakhe. That's why he stopped. In the second sloka of this sarka itself, he clarifies. Valmiki makes us to leave all our doubts. Sakhe abhyagacha pashyatvam veshma dushkarakarina. Rama is going to do a great task. Dushkarakarina. It doesn't mean it's a difficult task. It's a great task. Tam vipram agniyagarastam. Agarastam mane agnishal. So that Vipra was doing is, that means it must be in the evening time. Because in the morning, these things in the Pushya Dina, in the Vasanta Rutu, in the Chaitra Mata, Pushya Dina, in the morning, all these drama has been happening. So this must be in the Sandhya Kale, Sayam Sandhya Kale. Tam Vipram Agni Agarastam Vanditva Lakshmanena Bravit Sakhe Abhyagacha Pashyatvam Veshma Dushkakarinaha. So Rama is going to do a difficult task of leaving the Rajyasri and going to forest. He wants to see you. He doesn't address him as a Vipra. Hey Sakhe, hey friend, you please come. Sakhe abhyagacha pashyatvam veshma dushkarakarinaha tataha sandhyam upasya. It should be Sayam Sandhya, because in the morning all this was happening. Kaikeyi called Rama in the morning. So it cannot be the morning Sandhya Kal. It should be in the evening Sandhya Kal. So Rama left Ayodhya after Sayam Sandhya. Tata Sandhyam upasya ashuhu gatva saumitrina sah jushtam tad pravishate lakshmyaha ramyam ramam niveshanam. How was Rama's niveshanam? It was the residence of Mahalakshmi. Juttam, abundant. Juttam tat pravishati lakshmya ramyam Rama niveshanam. Rama niveshanam juttam lakshmya ramyam. It was with such an opulence. You will see that. Tataha sandhyam upasya ashu gatva. Immediately when the Saka calls, when Rama calls, he immediately rushed after finishing sandhya. He didn't do 108, probably he did 36. Tatas sandhyam upasyashuhu gatva saumitrina saha juttam tat pravishati lakshmiya ramyam Rama niveshanam tam agatam Veda vidam pranjalihi sitaya saha Suyagnyam abhichakrama raghavo agnim ivarchitam. As if he is worshipping Agni, Rama and Sita immediately did pratakshanam. Tam, because he is Agni Swarupa. So the Brahmans are Agni Swarupa because Dvikal, they do Archana for 3 Agni, Gargapatya, Dakshinagni. So and then they always worship 3 Agnis, 2 times a day. So they are nothing but Agni. So their hands are nothing but Rudra. Their Swarupa is nothing but Agni. So tam agatam Veda vidam pranjalihi sitaya saha Suyagnyam abhichakrama. So he circumambulated. Abhichakrama raghavo agnimivarchitam jataha rupamayai mukyaihi angadaihi kundalaihi shubaihi sahema sutraihi manibihi keyuraihi valaihi api anyaihi cha ratnaihi bahubihi kakutsa pratyapujayate Suyagnyam satada uvacha Ramaha Sita prachodita apa upasprashva. Without approval from Patni, no matter what you do, your dana will not be palitam. That's what Valmiki. This is nothing but Veda. Sita prachodita Ramaha. He puts that. So upon acceptance and upon instigation by Sita, Rama is going to do all these dana. So it is according to Veda. Because he says Veda vidam. What is prescribed in Veda? Jata rupa mayai mukyai. Jata rupa mane swarna. Jata rupa mayai mukyaihi angadaihi kundalaihi shubhaihi. Beautiful. Sanskrit. You want to learn Sanskrit? Take Valmiki Ramayan. So angadai mane shoulderlets. Shoulder circles. Kundalaihi shubhaihi kundalaihi sahema sutraihi manibihi. The pearls threaded through golden thread. Keyuraihi, that's what I got. What's the difference between Angada and Keyura? Angada is the shoulderlet, Keyura is the armlets. The ring, golden ring which you wear here, this is known as Keyura. Where if you wear here, it is known as Angada. Valaihi, the Valaihi is a ring that flows freely. So that is bracelet. So Valaihi, Keyuraihi, Valaihi api anyai cha ratnaihi bahubihi. In addition to this, bahubihi ratnaihi kakutsa pratyapujayate Suyagnyam satada uvacha Ramaha Sita prachodita Ramaha madurabashi uvacha. Kim prati Suyagnyam prati Sakyaha Suyagnyam prati Sitaya prachodita Rama uvacha dhanat. For giving dana, he is also telling what you should do. Haram cha hema sutram cha bharya yai saumya. Hey friend. Saumya sakya haram cha hema sutram cha bharya yai saumya haraya rashanam cha adhuna. Immediately Sita wants to give. Immediately, Rashanam mane Mekala mane scarf. Rashanam cha aduna Sita dhatum ichchati. Te dhatum ichchati Sita. But please make sure Haraya mane to cease. Harati. That's what the root for Haraya mane Harati cha aata hai. So, it means that literally it means cease. But what Rama says, not only you take Haraya, you make sure your wife wears it. So it's because Suyagnya's Patni can also say, they didn't come and give me, why should I wear? But Rama does not give any loopholes here. Okay, you please make sure that she wears. Haram cha hema sutram cha bharyayai saumya haraya. So for the sake of your wife, you take it. That's a literal meaning. But Vyakyakarta says that he makes sure they can be used as a haraya, like Sustrusya, desiderative. You can say that, make sure she wears. Make sure your Patni wears. Make sure your Patni wears this haram. Make sure your Patni wears this silk scarf. Angadani vichitrani keyurani shubhani cha paryankam agraya astaranam nana ratna vibhushanam. Again Dharma Sarcha. We explained what is keyuram. We explained what is keyuram is the shoulder ring, and angada mane shoulder ring, keyura mane this one. Okay, now paryankam agraya astaranam mane beautifully covered, bedspread. You can take it like that. Paryankam. Then he is also gifting a bed. Accepting a bed, some people will not accept the bed. This he is giving. Why? Beautiful. Because 14 years, what did Rama say? There is a suchak here, that they are going to live like a life of a brahmachari. So they are saying to the world, I am giving this bed. Where I have lived the life of a Grihastha, I am relinquishing it and taking it. Hey Brahman Devata, you please make sure that you have a very happy wedded life, because you are a Saka. Don't think that I am going to forest people here also should starve. You lead the life as prescribed by Veda as a Grihastha. Paryankam agraya astaranam nana ratna vibhushanam. Because people will hesitate to take certain gifts. Because when you take big gifts like Godana, Swarnadana, Bhudana, basically whatever Gayatri this Brahman is doing, all that goes to the other person. So they hesitate. But here, Valmiki gives so much explanation. This sarga is such an abundance of Shastra. Why we called Suyagnya, we saw it in different aspects. Now he is giving the bed, beautifully studded, beautifully ornamented bread, so that whatever, this is a gift which people will not accept. That is the reason I didn't call Vashishta, because I wanted to give this. Sita wanted to give this to your wife. Vashishta Patni, Arundhati ko dena chahti thi. I know Vashishta will not accept. He is a Vriddha, but you are my Saka. Accept it. By accepting, I need lot of protection. By accepting this gift, all your tapas and all your Gayatri will transform to me, so I will be protected. Paryankam agraya astaranam nana ratna vibhushanam. You want to give a cloth, you are accepting a cloth. Somasya vasaha. It is like Soma Devata. When you are giving some clothes, Somaya vasaha indraya gam. If you are giving a Godana, that person who is accepting is none other than Indra. Somaya vasaha ambarame tannire sore aram seyyum. Emberuman Nandagopala Yerindirai Andal Tirupavai, 17th Pasuram, she says, Nandagopa used to give lot of clothes, Ambarame, Tannire, so Ambaramane clothes, Vasaha, lot of clothes. He used to keep on gifting. When Krishna came into his abode, all that is, he's opened his doors, anybody can take it and everything you want because of that ecstasy. Similarly, you give this cloth, you give this furniture, it becomes like you are like an Indra accepting it. So when Indra is accepting it, Indra is obligated to protect. So you are a Brahmin, all that wealth you have is only Gayatri, so that Gayatri will protect me. So the Sita was very, very clever lady. She wanted to make sure her pati is protected with Gayatri, so she is doing this. So, tam api ichhati paryangam agrayastaranam nana ratna vibhushanam. I'm not giving. Suyagnya, don't think that I'm giving. It is Babi who is giving. Tam api ichhati vaidehi pratishta payatitvam. So she is the one giving. So who is she? She is none other than Mahalakshmi. Vashishta knows, Vishwamitra knows. Aham vedmi mahatmanam ramam satya parakramam. We saw that last class. So this is nothing but Sri Mahalakshmi. When Sri Mahalakshmi says, would you reject it? So much Ramayana is like this. Nagaha Shatrunjayo nama matulo yam dadau mama. Nothing begotten by ill ways Rama is gifting. This Sarga will finish saying Rama by saying, I am only giving everything based on my own earning, based on what should be earned according to Dharma and Shastra I am giving. So here he is giving the Gaja. The Gaja of Rama is known as Satrunjayaha. The chariot of Rama is known as Pushyaratha. So, Nagaha, Naga mane elephant here. Nagaha Shatrunjayo nama matulo yam dadau mama tamte gaja sahasrena dadami dvija pungama sreshta dvija. In addition to the Satrunjaya that was gifted to me by my mama, by my Matula, I am additionally giving 1,000 elephants. Can a Brahmin take care of 1,000 elephants? It seems that he is giving all the paraphernalia associated with it. So he is giving lot of helping hand. He is giving lot of land to take care of the feed needed for all the elephants. So what does it say? So he is not hesitant to give. Can you believe 1,000 elephants he is giving? So much he will know what all he give. That itself is a trivia. If you want to follow Ramayan, follow these sargas. Iti uktaha sa hi ramena Suyagnya pratigrihyatati. Then Suyagnya thought, oh, there is a reason, method to the madness why Rama called me. Because he wants to do this and it would be not awkward for me to come and receive it. So I'm going to take this with pleasure. I'm going to take it with so much happiness, so much ananda. I'm going to do it with so much ananda so that you will be blessed. So the same thing Vyasaji says in Bhagavata also. We'll see that. So, iti uktaha sa hi ramena Suyagnya pratigrihyatati. So he took all of those with full-heartedness. Rama Lakshmana Sita Nam Prayuyoja Asishaha Shivaha Asishaha Mangalani Santu. I'm very happy. You go, you will be protected and you will accomplish what you wanted to do. Atha bhrataram avyagram priyam Rama priyam vadaha saumitram tam uvacha idam brahma iva tridasha ishwaram. Then all this was watched by Lakshmana. Who is Lakshmana? So much adjective is putting. Bhrataram. Lakshmana is a brother of Rama. What's a big deal? Avyagram priyam. Avyagram means very polite. Smooth operating. Take it like that. Avyagram priyam, Rama priyam vadaha. Soft spoken, diplomatically spoken, priyam, sweet person. Lakshmana, Rama says to Lakshmana. Who was Lakshmana? Lakshmana is Avyagram, Bhrataram, Priyam, Saumitram, son of Sumitra. Tam uvacha idam. How did Rama speak? Rama spoke as if Brahmaji was Brahma, Chaturmukha Brahma was speaking to the celestial head Indra. Brahma iva Tridasha Iswaram, Upati Mukkoti Devatas, the leader of the Tridasha Devatas. Agastya, then he said, okay, I'm not satisfied but by only giving to Suyagnya. I want to give it to other Brahmins. So those Brahmins are led by two people called Agastya and Kaushikam. This is not the Agastya who will come in Aranyakanda. This is some other Agastya. Agastyam Kaushikam chaiva ta ubhau brahmano tamau archaya ahuya saumitre ratnaihi sahasyam iva ambubi sasyam iva ambubihi. I want to give everything as if the crops are getting satisfied by pouring rain. Sasyam iva ambubihi tarpayasva mahabago go sahasracha Sahasraischa manada Suvarnaihi Radataischa Manibischa Mahadana. See, already he gave 1,000 elephants to Suyagnya. Now he is going to give 1,000 elephants to Agastya, to Kaushika, already 3,000 elephants given. Agastyam Kaushikam chaiva ta ubhau brahmanottamo archaya ahuya saumitre ratnaihi sasyam iva ambubihi tarpayasva mahabago go sahasrascha manadaha go. Not only that, top quality gir, Gujarat gir race, give that. So tarpayasva mahabago go sahasrascha 1,000 Gujarat Desi. Manadaha Suvarnaihi. Not only that, studded with Suvarna and Rajata mane silver. Suvarnaihi Radataischa Manibischa Mahadhanai. Dhana. He was a Dhanika. So he was a Dhanada. Rama was not a Dhanika. Rama was a Dhanada. Kausalyam cha yashirbihi bhaktaha paryupatishtati acharya taittiriyanam abhirupaha cha vedavit tasya yanam cha dasi cha saumitre sampradapaya kausheyani cha vastrani yavat tushyati sadvijah. So far he has gifted elephants, he had gifted cows. So he has emptied his Goshala and Gajashala. Now he is coming to something. Kausalyam cha ya ashibihi bhaktaha paryupatishtati. There is a Brahman, many Brahmins who are very obedient and affectionate. Bhakta mane who are always associated. Bhakta mane vibhakta bhakta. That's why we came Vibhakta Kutumbam, Avibhakta Kutumbam. We already said about Rajasthanis and Gujaratis having Avibhakta Kutumbam. So similarly, Bhakta, always grouped. Kaushalya is always grouped or closely associated with many Brahmins. Who are all those Brahmins? They are all belonging to Taittiriya Shaka. That is why we said Rama is belonging to Krishna Yajurveda Taittiriya Shaka. Acharya Taittiriyanam Abhirupaha. Well qualified. I said this Sarga, Sanskrit you learn. You learn the history of Rama. You know what Rama did. Rama learnt Taittiriya Shaka. That is also gifted. That is also known because he was taught by Vashishta. Vashishta is one of the preceptor of the Kaundinya Gotra. Vashishta Maitra Varana Kaundinya Mera Gotra. Maito Vashishta Gotra. So Vashishta Maitra Varana Kaundinya Triya Rishehe. So if he is taught by Vashishta, then he will only learn that Swadhyaya. What is the Veda of Vashishta? So that is Taittiriya. So Taittiriya, there is a twist here. In North India, Taittiriya is not practiced. It's only Shukla Yajurveda is practiced more. But here it is clear that his original is Taittiriya Shaka. Then from Taittiriya Shaka, Yajnavalkya quarreled with his guru, Vaisampayana, and then quarrel is a lewd term I use. So he fell apart from his guru Vaisampayana and then started praying the Surya Devata, and that's only he came to Surya Devata is known as he came in a horse, Vajasaniya. So Shukla Yajurveda is also known as Vajasani, Vajamanai horse. So the Surya Devata took the shape of a horse, and then he gave these Shukla Yajurveda to Yajnavalkya. So Yajnavalkya is the preceptor of Shukla Yajurveda, whereas Vaisampayana is the preceptor for Krishna Yajurveda. Right? So we will see this. So Taittiriya, here it also says what are all the Vedas that are in extent that were used. All Vedas perhaps would have been there. So Rig Veda. So Vyasa did Vibhaga. But this was in Treta Yuga. So Veda was not divided. Veda was total one Veda. And that is also clear that Veda, what was one grouped together, was only used for making Yajna Yaga, so it should have been only Yajurveda. So there was no distinction between Yajurveda, Rigveda, Samaveda, Atharva Veda during Treta Yuga. Only at the end of Dwapara Yuga, Vyasa did this Vibhaga. Hence the name Krishna Dvaipayana is the original name. Since he did Vibhaga to this Veda, he is known as Vyasa. So when he did, only during the days, later days of Krishna's existence in this world, Vyasa did this Vibhaga because of Karuna for us. So there would have been no division of Veda. So it would be only Yajurveda, which I have told some 50 episodes back that in those days there were only one Veda. Those Vedas were only used for Karma Kanda. So it should be Yajurveda. If there is only one Patel, you don't no need to say Arun Patel or Vaibhav Patel or any Patel. Patel is only one Patel. There are so many Patel. That's a different story. Then only you have to say it is Arun Patel, it is this Patel, it is that Patel. Right? Similarly, in those days there was only one Veda. So it is Yajurveda. So Acharya Taittiriyanam Abhirupa mane well qualified. Cha Veda viti tasya yanam cha dasihi cha saumitre sampradapaya. So give yanam. Yanam means transport facilities. So palki. So give palki. Then the question comes dasi. What is dasi? This sarga you have to go through multiple vyakyanas. This I learned when I was 11 years. Still it remembers me. So I said dasi mane maid servants. What is the use of maid servant to a brahmana? For a Brahman, dasi mane yajna kund. So, it is the paraphernalia used for yajna and havan. So he made sure that he has all the paraphernalia needed for Brahmins to do their duty. Their duty is Agni Santana. That's all Brahmins were supposed to do. 6 duties. Study, teach. Do yajna, make sure others does yajna. Take gifts, give gifts. That's all they should do. So this dasi mane you should not take literally. But if you look at English scholars, they would have said they gave dasis. But if you go through, if you just go through like Gurukul, one-on-one, baitak karke, aapse guru say, if you do this, then they will tell you, dasi mane, you should take it because there is a root. Like we mane Vinayaka. Vinayaka mane what? Everybody says, who is Vinayaka? Vinayaka mane? Okay, that is literal. We mane, in Sanskrit, we mane bird. So, for Vishnu, there is a one word called Vinayaka Arudaha Vishnu. Then what is the problem? Will God, Vishnu, ride on the back of Vinayaka? If you just literally, that's what the problem came. Or if you look at European scholars, they can simply translate Vinayaka means Vishnu rode on the back of Vinayaka. That is Apyavaya. Vi mane khaga. Vi mane bird. Who is the king of the bird? Vinayaka mane Garuda. Garuda Rudaha Vishnu. So you have to go through Amara and then study. So here, that means Dasihi paraphernalia for Yajna, Havan, Samit and all that. Saumitre Sampradapaya Kausheyani Chavastrani Yavati Tushyati Sadvijaha. Whatever makes those people happy. Now Vastrani, they need Vastra to be decent, to protect their modesty. That too Kausheyani Vastrani, white. Kausheyana means silk. Silk without any silk, natural silk is not dyed. It has its own inherent color. So, Kausheyani mane natural silk. Kausheyani cha vastrani yavati tushyati swadvijaha sutaha chitrarataha. Okay, then you may think, why is he biased only to Brahmana? No. He is calling his minister who has been with him for a long time. Sutaha chitrarataha. What is the name of the minister of Rama who was a confidant? His name was Chitrarata. Sutaha chitrarataha cha aryaha sachivaha suchiraushitaha suchiraha ushitaha. That means who was associate for him for a long time. How many years? Long time mane how many years? How old was Rama now? What is the age of Rama now? 24 completed, 25. So he got Upanayana when he was about 12. So, from 12 to 25, 13 years, he was his close confidant. Chira ushitaha, suchira ushitaha, toshayayenam maharyaha, charatnaihi vastraihi dhanada dhanaihi tata. Make sure he is taken care with ratnaihi vastraihi dhanaihi. Pashukabikascha sarvabihi gavam dashasatena cha. Give him dashasata, that means 1,000. All Rama gives is only 1,000, no 100, no 10. Ye che me katakalapaha bhagavo dandamanavaha. Beautiful. So all these are Taittiriya Yajurveda Shaka. Not only Taittiriya Shaka, he also called people belonging to Katha Kapisthala. So there are, out of 4, now Vyasa did this Vibhaga. So Rigveda, he had 21 Shakas of Rigveda. 21 different versions of Rigveda. And then 12 different versions of Atharva Veda. 101 versions of Yajurveda. 1000 versions of Samaveda. So when Vyasa did this Vibhaga, Ananta Vai Veda, it was so huge. So then he said, okay, these are the mantras that are used to do Devata Pujanam. That is known as Ruk. Ruk mane Jeva Pujayam. Ruch mane Archayaniti Ruch. So you do praises, Om, Om, Om. So those are all collected to put together as a Ruk. So he divided that Rigveda into 21 types, Shakas. Similarly, Yajurveda was divided into 101. Samaveda was divided into 1000. Atharva Veda was divided into 12. You total all these, there are 1034 types of Vedas used to be. Until 1956, only 2 to 3 people even knew there is something called Atharva Veda. until 1956. So we have to, now we say Gujaratis don't do much Veda. Yes, true. North India mein itna Ved nahi hai compared to Dakshina Bhag. But we have to be thankful to Gujaratis. Particularly those that live in on the banks of Narmada river. So in 1956, India mein there was a big Veda conference was held in Nai Delhi. Us samay they brought people from all over India of different shakas of Veda, from Gokarna, from Varanasi, from Dwaraka, from Puri, and there came a gentleman, but he was not teaching Veda then. He was doing Leva Devi. He became a pawn lender. This particular Brahman from Gujarat, he thought that there was no patrons for him, although he was doing all Swadhyaya, but he didn't propagate Veda. But he knew that this was happening in Rajdhani, so he came from a place in Vadodara district called Sinor. You should note this. In a small village called Sinor on the bank of Narmada, southern bank of Narmada. Now Sinor is in Vadodara district. So he came to know about this big Goshti on Veda, Charcha Goshti, and he was the one who is Swadhyayi on Shaunaka Shaka of Atharva Veda. Only very few people, 2 to 3. At that time, there are 1 or 2 Pandits who were in Varanasi teaching Atharva Veda, but that's not their Swashaka. So in India, about 1956, there were only 1 or 2 people, particularly in this Sinor village, who had Atharva Veda as their Swashaka, and they learnt it from their Purvaj. But they didn't practice. That means they didn't go and teach. They were into other things what Gujaratis are good in doing, making money. So he was lending money and all these things. It's documented history. So many, even Gujaratis do not know this. It's very beautiful story. Sinor gaon se ekta. Then he saw this, and then he said, if somebody wants to learn Atharva Veda, I am willing to teach. So nobody from North India showed interest. Then from South India, Kanchi Matka Swami, Mahatswami, Chandrasekharendra Saraswati, sent 2 people from South India to stay with him. But these people are Swayam Pakis. They won't eat what they give. So they cooked their own food and stayed for 2 years, from 1960 to 1964, and then learnt Shaunaka Shaka Atharva Veda from this Gujarati Pandit. After that only, Atharva Veda started propagating in India. And they finished this Adhyayan in the year 1964. That was the year when Pandit Nehruji died. So 2 years this Gujarati Mahatma taught them Atharva Veda. Atharva Veda is in existence today. How many shakas Atharva Veda had? 12 shakas. Until 1956, it was basically extinct. So today, there are umpteen Pandits of Atharva Veda. Not only that shaka got, once people started knowing about Atharva Veda, Orissa mein dusri shaka tha, Paipalada shaka. So out of 12 shaka, 2 shakas are in existence, Shaunaka shaka and Paipalada shaka. And out of those 21 Rigved shaka, only 2 are in existence. One Shakala and Bashkala. And only Shakala shaka is practiced today. Out of 101 Yajush shaka, only 6 are in existence today. Out of 1000 Samaveda shaka, only 3 shakas are in existence. Ranayani, Jaimani, and one more. Kautuma. Kautuma Shaka, Ranayani Shaka, and Jaimini Shaka. Kautuma Shaka is the one that is more prevalent all over India. So you see, only today, if you count, only 12 types of Vedas are in existence today out of 1034. So out of that, why I digressed is Katha and Kalapa. Now Kalapa is known as Kapishchala. So Yajurveda, I said in Yajurveda there are only 6 shakas. Yajurveda is divided into 2 branches, Shukla Yajurveda and Krishna Yajurveda. Shukla Yajurveda, there are only 2 shakas present. And in Krishna Yajurveda, there are 4 shakas present. Most prevalent is Taitriya, Madhyandina, Kata, Kata Kapishtala. There are only 4 shakas present. Whereas in Shukla Yajurveda, there is Madhyandina Shaka and Kanva Shaka. Shukla Yajurveda mein there are only two branches present today. One is Madhyandini Shaka and Kanva Shaka. And in Yajurveda, Taitriya Shaka, Maitrayani Shaka, Kata Shaka, Kapishtala Shaka. Kata and Kapishtala Shakas are only in writing. Maitrayani Shaka is in the North India, and all over India the most prevalent is Taitriya Shaka. So 12 Shaka. Pashukabhikascha sarvabhihi gavam dashasatena cha yeche me katakalapaha. That is why I digressed. Kata Shaka, Kapishtala Shaka. Both are belonging to Yajurveda. They are there in writing, but nobody practices them. Kata and Kapishtala Shaka are not practiced, but certain portion of Kata Shaka has been merged with Taitriya Shaka, and that is known as Kataka Prashna. So there are 3 chapters of Kata Shaka that is merged with Taitriya Shaka, and that is given in the Brahmana Bhaga. For those interested in Veda, I gave all that. Yeche me katakalapaha bhagavo dandamanava. Dandamanava mana, the people who carry danda, that is brahmacharin. Nitya swadhyaya shilaha. Nitya Swadhyala. Give this to people. Give these 1,000 cows to people who practice Kata Shaka, Kapishtala Shaka, who are Nitya Swadhyaya Shilaha. Annavane kurvanti na kinchana. They don't do anything. All they do is they just do memorize. So we have to take alasaha by memorizing. Valmiki is also making a joke. They are very tired. They became so tired. Alasaha. From there you get the word alasyam. Alasaha swadhukamasya, but they like good things because they are teenage people. So they have become tired by doing monotonously same thing, but they are also interested in good things. Swadhukamasya, kama mane lovers. They are interested in lot because what Valmiki says, these are teenage people. 8 plus 7 is 15. So Veda Adhyayan to 8 वर्ष से 15 वर्ष तक होता है. So 8 वर्षम ब्राह्मणानाम उपनीता. So Garbhashtame upanita. So from Garbha, that means 7th year you should put the Yajnopavit. So it takes 8 years. 7 plus 8 is what? 12 to 13 years. So Nitya Swadhyaya Shilaha Alasaha Swadukamascha Mahatam Chapi Sammata. Even these people are praised by learned people, but these are kids. They are interested in eating lot of good food. Shalivaha Sahasram Cha Dveshate Badraka. I'm going to give them the bullock carts full of Shalivaha mane, the bullocks that can carry heavy load. How much? Sahasram. That means 1,000 carts full of feed. Give them. Dveshate Badraka mane, cows. So give them 2. The cows that are used for ploughing the land. Give 200. Vyanjana artam chasau mitre go sahasram upakuru. Give them all this. Mekalinam mahasadhyah kausalyam samupastitaha mekalalyam. So in addition to this, there are a lot of maid servants to my mother and your mother. So tesham sahasram saumitre pratyekam. Give them lot of sahasram and give them everything. So tesham sahasram saumitre pratyekam. Make sure everybody gets pratyekam sampradapaya amba yata chasanandayet. Kausalya mama dakshin. Make sure my mother is happy. Amba mane Kausalya. Amba mane Saumitra. Make sure your mother, my mother, both are happy. Tata dvijatim tan sarvan lakshmanarcha. Then he gave it to all these people. Tata hasa purushavyagra tad dhanam lakshmana swayam. Lakshmana himself, Purushavyagra Lakshmana himself did this. Yata uktam brahmana indriyanam adhat dhanadoyata. Dhanadoyata. He was not a stinger. He was not a lobi. He was not a dhanika. He was a dhanada. Dhattati iti dhanada. Dhanam dhattati iti dhanada. There is a difference between dhanika and dhanada. So Rama was a dhanada. Lakshmana was a dhanada. Lakshmanasya cha yadveshma griham cha yadidam mama. Then Rama says, he brings everybody. Hey people, listen. My house and Lakshmana's house are open. It's free fall for you. For 14 years you come and stay. So, ashunyam karyam ekaikam yavati agamanam mama. Don't make this an empty space. You come, you reside, you do whatever you want. This house is your house. My house, Lakshmana's house, Sita's Antapura, everything is your people. Iti uktva dukkitam sarvam janam tam upajivinam uvacha idam dhanadhyaksham dhanam maniyatamiti. Then he saw people were all unhappy. Then he said, oh, maybe these people were not satisfied. So he calls his finance minister. Dhanadhyaksham, he calls it, come and heap all the jewels here. And he says that even Lakshmana was so astonished to see, he has not seen this much pearls and this much vaidurya. He was adrishyam dhanam. He has not seen such a kind of dhana. That guy came and started heaping. Tatasya dhanam ajahruhu sarvameva upajivanaha sa rashihi sumahan. Rashihi suman, heaps. Rashi mane heaps. Tatra darshaniyo adya drishyati. They have not seen such a kind of heap of diamond. Tataha sa purusha vyagra tad dhanam saha lakshmanaha dvijebhyo bala vidrebhyo kripanebhyascha abhyadapayati. He gave it to Brahmin, he gave it to youngsters, he gave it to needy, he gave it to kripana mane, people who are in need. Tatra asiti pingalo garyaha trijadaha nama vaidvijaha chata vrittir vane nityam pala kuddala langali. Next story is beautiful story. Then he had been gifting all. Such likewise he has been gifting tam upaihi mahabhaga sadhunam cha parayanam dasyati dravinam buri sidate te kudumbine. Sudama. Like Sudama, there was a guy called Trijata. He was pale, Pingala. So Valmiki describes. But he didn't know what to do. He was wandering in the forest. Chata vritti, without anything, without any vision, he was wandering. Pala kuddala langali. Pala mane axe, kuddala mane spade, manvati, and langali mane kalapa, plow. So all that he used to do, he was a Brahman. He didn't teach people. Rather, he just was wandering, wavering in the forest. Daily he will leave his house. His wife will make some food. He will leave his house. He will go. Same thing. One day, that woman said, hey, I heard there is a guy called Rama. He's giving lot of alms. Go get it. Like Sudama's Patni said, Tam upaihi mahabhaga sadhunam cha parayanam dasyati dravinam bhuri sidate mane suffering. Ye Brahman, ye Sudama, ye suffering Sudama, you have a friend in Dwaraka called Krishna. Go to him. Likewise, tam vriddham taruni bharya balan adaya dharakane abhravit brahmanam vakyam daridrayena bipidita. So he says this Trijata was pale because he didn't eat much. His wife got tired. Hey, get up and go and see there is a Rama there. Tam vriddham. He was an old man, mismatch. His wife was a young lady. Taruni bharya. She was carrying one child. Like Sudama had 27 kids. This lady and these people had so many kids. So he was taking many kids in her body. Balan adaya dharakane. Balane dharakane. Dharakan mane one whom you have to feed. So he held a couple of these young kids in her waist. Tam vriddham taruni bharya bhalane adaya dharakane abhraviti brahmanam vakyam. This guy was supposed to teach, but he was wandering without anything. Abhraviti brahmanam vakyam daridrena apipidita. You have been totally surrounded with this kind of daridram. Why don't you do something? Get up, go do something. So there is a good story about a guy called Trijata. He was a Brahmin and he goes to Rama, and then the story gets a twist, beautiful twist. Why did Rama do this? Why did this guy go to Rama? What did he get out of it? Did it impact Ramayan? The episode between Sri Ramachandra and this Brahmana, Daridhya Pidita Brahmana, did it make any impact on Ramayan? It did in a way. That's why Ramayan also happened. Ramayan happened because of Kuni. Ramayan happened because of Trijata. One way of looking at it. There are a lot of ways to skin the orange. Similarly, one way that we will see in the next week. So this is Ramayana. So Ramayana gets interesting. So from now on, a lot of interesting things will come. Where is Rama? Is Rama going to advocate against Nastikavada? Yes, he is going to advocate against Nastikavada. Was Nastikavada in existence in Ayodhya? Yes, it was in existence. Were there people without any money? Not many. 1 or 2 were there. So that's all we'll see. So Ramayana gets very interesting. Pavamana sututu patu padara Vindamulaku Ninama Rupamulaku Nitya Jaya Mangalam Mangalam Kosalendraya Mahaniya Gunabdaye Chakravarti Tanujaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam Mangalani Santu Shubham.